Then you're standing in the wrong place. Have you ever discovered the person you came to destroy was the only one who could save you? Rain hammers the Brooklyn harbor like an accusation. Ava Grant stands before container BL07, tracking device in hand. Water streams down her vest, cold against her skin. The lock clicks, the door swings wide. A man steps into the light, tall, sharp-suited, gray eyes cutting through the storm like steel. Ethan Cole. I knew the government would send someone. His voice is controlled, almost resigned. But I didn't expect it would be you. Ava steadies her breathing. Her thumb hovers over the panic button on her phone. I didn't come to help you. I came to stop Bloodline cargo. He almost smiles. The expression doesn't reach his eyes. Then you're standing in the wrong place. Security teams emerge from the shadows on both sides. Lucas Ward, weapon drawn. Federal agents, vests reflecting red and blue lights. The air tightens with unspoken threats, with the weight of choices about to be made. This is where it begins. The night justice and guilt collide, and nothing will ever be the same. Riverside Trattoria, Lower Manhattan. 3 weeks earlier. The restaurant sits tucked between old brick warehouses, its windows glowing amber against the dusk. Rain threatens but hasn't yet fallen. Inside, Ethan Cole reviews shipping manifests at a corner table, his world one of order, control, and measured silence. A glass of scotch sits untouched beside his papers. He doesn't drink when he works, doesn't allow himself that kind of softness. Then she walks in. Ava Grant moves with the confidence of someone who's learned not to hesitate in rooms full of men who expect her to. Black blazer, tailored perfectly, sharp eyes that miss nothing, a tablet tucked under one arm. She's 32 and carries herself like she's earned every inch of space she occupies, because she has. Sarah Monroe, Homeland Security's senior agent, makes the introduction. She's been tracking Ethan for 3 years. Mr. Cole, this is Ava Grant. She'll be installing monitoring systems on your cargo routes. Ethan sets down his pen slowly, deliberately. I don't recall agreeing to surveillance. You didn't, Ava says calmly. She pulls out a chair and sits without being invited. But you also don't want 200 dock workers losing their jobs when your licenses get pulled, or federal agents tearing apart every container in your network. Sarah adds, cooperate with the internal review, Mr. Cole, or face a federal shutdown, your choice. Ethan studies Ava, the way she holds eye contact without flinching, the way her hands rest calmly on the table. Something flickers in his expression, calculation, maybe respect. And you think you can track what others haven't? I don't think. I know. Ava pulls up a screen on her tablet. I've tracked 3 international smuggling rings in the last 2 years. Shut down operations in 7 countries. My tech doesn't miss things, Mr. Cole. He leans back, the leather chair creaking softly. Then let's see if you're as good as they say. The deal is struck. Ava will embed trackers in his shipping network. Ethan will allow limited access in exchange for protecting his workers from immediate prosecution. Both believe they're winning. Neither knows what they're about to lose. Sarah stands to leave. We'll start with the Brooklyn terminals tomorrow morning. Fine. Ethan's voice is neutral, but his eyes follow Ava as she gathers her things. She feels his gaze, doesn't acknowledge it. She's done this before, walked into rooms full of dangerous men, and walked out with what she needed. But something about Ethan Cole is different, quieter, more controlled, more dangerous. Outside, Lucas Ward, Ethan's bodyguard, watches Ava leave through the rain-streaked window. He's ex-military, quiet, observant, built like someone who spent years learning how to be a wall between his boss and the world. He lights a cigarette, the flame briefly illuminating his weathered face. Ethan appears beside him. She's different from the others. Yeah, Lucas exhales smoke. Question is, different how? Ethan's jaw tightens. He watches Ava's car pull away, taillights disappearing into the city. That's what I need to find out. You're playing with fire, boss. I know. Ethan turns away from the window. But if I don't let her in, someone worse will come. Someone I can't control. Lucas drops the cigarette, crushes it under his boot. You think you can control her? Ethan doesn't answer, because the truth is he's not sure, and that uncertainty is what keeps him awake at night. Brooklyn Harbor, container BL07, 5 days later. The rain starts as Ava approaches the container, device in hand. It's her third installation this week. Routine, clinical. She's good at compartmentalizing, at treating each container as a puzzle to solve, rather than evidence of someone's crimes. She plugs in the tracker, the container door clicks, then swings open on its own. Ethan steps out from inside, flanked by 2 of his men. His expression is unreadable. Water drips from his hair, his suit jacket. He's been waiting inside, watching. I knew the government would send someone, he says quietly. But I didn't expect it would be you. Ava's hand moves toward her phone. This is a scheduled inspection. Your people confirmed. My people, Ethan's voice sharpens. Or yours. Before she can respond, Sarah Monroe's voice crackles through her earpiece. Ava, we're moving in. Federal agents are 30 seconds out. Get clear. Ethan hears it too. His eyes narrow. You brought backup. Standard protocol. For someone you trust. Ethan steps closer. The rain intensifies, drumming against metal containers. You don't trust me, Ms. Grant. I respect that. But bringing an entire federal team to a routine inspection? That's something else. I came to stop Bloodline cargo. Ethan's smile is cold. Then you're standing in the wrong place. Lucas appears with 3 more security personnel. Federal vehicles screech to a halt at the gate. Lights flash red and blue against the wet pavement. Voices shout through the rain. Sarah emerges, weapon drawn, vest marked in bold letters, Homeland Security. Stand down, Cole. We're taking control of this facility. Under what authority? Probable cause, customs violations, suspected trafficking. Sarah's voice is hard, professional. Take your pick. The tension is a wire pulled taut, ready to snap. Then Ethan raises his hands slowly, deliberately. Stand down, he tells his team. To Sarah, search whatever you want. You won't find anything illegal. Sarah signals her agents. They move past, flashlights cutting through the darkness, securing containers one by one. Ava watches Ethan's face. No panic, no fear, just cold certainty, like a man who's played this game before and knows all the outcomes. This isn't over, Sarah warns him. No, Ethan agrees, his eyes finding Ava's through the rain. It's just beginning. Ava's tech firm, Chelsea. 2 days later. The office is modern, all glass and steel and the hum of servers. Grace Porter sits hunched over 3 monitors, her fingers flying across the keyboard. She's Ava's lead engineer, brilliant, caffeinated, relentless, 28 years old with purple streaks in her hair and a mind like a supercomputer. Found something, Grace says without looking up. Ava leans in, coffee mug warming her hands. On screen, shipping records from Bloodline cargo, dates stretching back 2 decades, routes spanning the entire East Coast, names coded and encrypted. Grace's software peels back the layers. One name stands out: Victor Hale. Ava's breath catches. The room tilts. Her coffee mug slips, nearly falls. She sets it down with shaking hands. "Ava!" Grace's voice pulls her back. "You okay? You just went completely pale." She's not okay. Victor Hale. The man suspected of involvement in the accident that killed her parents when she was 9 years old. The man who disappeared before investigators could question him. The ghost who's haunted her dreams for 17 years. "Pull everything on Hale," Ava says quietly. Her voice doesn't sound like her own. "Every file, every route, every transaction. I want to know every time his name appears in that system." Grace hesitates, studying her friend's face. "Ava, talk to me. Who is Victor Hale?" "The man who destroyed my life." The words come out flat, emotionless. "The man I've been looking for since I was 9 years old." Grace's expression shifts from curiosity to concern. "Ava, Hale's dangerous. If he's connected to Cole, then I need to know why." Ava straightens, composure returning. "And I need to know what Ethan Cole knows about him." Ethan's office, Hudson Yards. That evening, Ava shows up unannounced. Ethan's assistant, a young man in an expensive suit, tries to stop her, but she's already through the door, closing it behind her. Ethan looks up from his desk, doesn't seem surprised. "Ms. Grant." "Victor Hale," Ava says. No greeting, no pretense, no time for games. Why is his name in your files?" Ethan's expression hardens like concrete setting. He dismisses his assistant with a gesture. When they're alone, he speaks carefully, each word chosen with precision. "Victor was my partner, years ago." "Was. He's the reason I ended up in this world." Ethan moves to the window, hands in his pockets. Outside, the city sprawls beneath them, lights flickering like stars. "He betrayed me, nearly destroyed everything I'd built." "And you just let him walk away?" "I didn't have a choice." His voice is stone. "By the time I understood what he was, he'd already disappeared into a network I couldn't touch, protected by people more powerful than me." Ava's pulse hammers. She steps closer, refusing to be intimidated by the expensive office, the view, the power radiating from this man. "What did he do?" Ethan turns. His gray eyes meet hers, and for the first time, she sees something beneath the ice: regret, raw and real. "He eliminated people who got in his way, witnesses to his deals, competitors who threatened his operations, families who knew too much." The word families lands like a physical blow. Ava's chest tightens. Her parents' faces flash in her mind. Their laughter, the way her mother sang in the kitchen, the way her father lifted her onto his shoulders. Gone, all gone. "Don't mess with him," Ethan warns, his voice softer now. "He's not like me. I do what I have to do to survive." "Victor." He pauses. Victor doesn't kill out of necessity. He does it because he likes it, because he can. Ava's hands curl into fists. "Tell me everything you know about him." "Why?" "Because he killed my parents." The words explode out of her, sharp and jagged. 17 years ago, a car accident that wasn't an accident, and he's the one responsible. Ethan's face changes. Understanding dawns, followed by something that looks almost like pain. "I didn't know." Now you do. Ava's voice shakes. So tell me everything. Ethan studies her for a long moment. Then he nods. Sit down. This is going to take a while. If you've ever questioned everything you thought you knew, hit that subscribe button. This story is just beginning. Underground parking garage, Ava Corporation, Chelsea. 11:47 p.m. Ava's heels echo against concrete, the sound bouncing off low ceilings and empty spaces. She's alone, keys in hand, mind spinning with everything Ethan told her about Victor. The roots, the money, the bodies. A van engine roars to life somewhere in the darkness. She turns, instinct screaming danger. Headlights blind her. The van accelerates, straight at her, engine screaming. Ava dives left. Her shoulder slams into a concrete pillar. Pain explodes through her ribs, white-hot and sharp. Her phone skitters across the floor, screen cracking. Then someone grabs her arm and yanks her backward with brutal efficiency. Ethan. The van screeches past, so close the wind whips her hair, so close she can smell burning rubber and exhaust. It crashes through the exit barrier in an explosion of metal and glass and vanishes into the night. Ava's knees buckle. Ethan steadies her, his grip firm but careful, aware she's injured. Are you hurt? She pulls free, breathing hard, ribs screaming. How did you know I was here? I've had people watching you since you left my office. He scans the garage, still on alert, still ready for another attack. Good thing I did. You've been following me, keeping you alive. His voice is sharp. They know you're investigating Victor. If you die, I'm next on his list. They? Ava's voice sharpens despite the pain. Who sent them? Victor. Ethan's expression is grim. He's watching both of us now. That van had no plates, professional driver. This wasn't random. Ava's heart pounds. This isn't a government investigation anymore. This isn't about cargo routes and federal oversight. This is survival. This is life or death. You need protection, Ethan says. I don't need. Yes, you do. His tone leaves no room for argument. Until we figure out what Victor wants, you're a target. And so am I. Separately, we're vulnerable. Together, we have a chance. Ava wants to refuse. Wants to walk away, call Sarah, go back to the clean lines of right and wrong, of good guys and bad guys. But her parents' faces flash in her mind. The accident report, the closed case, the unanswered questions that have haunted her for 17 years. Temporarily, she says, until I find out what he's hiding. Ethan nods. Deal. Lucas Ward appears, weapon drawn, moving with military precision. Clear, boss. They're gone, but they'll be back. Ethan glances at Ava, studies the way she's holding her ribs, the paleness of her face. We need to get you checked out. I'm fine. You're not. His voice is firm. Lucas will take you to a private clinic, someone I trust, no questions asked. And then we figure out how to stay alive long enough to bring Victor down. Ava retrieves her cracked phone from the floor. Her hands shake slightly, adrenaline crash setting in. Lucas will follow me home tonight? He'll stay outside your building, Ethan confirms. Tomorrow we talk strategy, real strategy. Because Victor just made his first move, and he won't stop until one of us is dead. Ava doesn't argue. For the first time in years, she feels something she hates admitting. Fear. But beneath the fear, something else is growing. Determination. Rage. And the beginning of trust in the most unexpected place. Ethan's safe house, Red Hook. Next morning. The safe house is industrial. Exposed brick walls, steel beams crossing the ceiling, small windows set high. A single table dominates the room, maps and files spread across it like war plans. Which, in a way, they are. Ava sits across from Ethan, hands wrapped around a mug of coffee for warmth. Her ribs are taped. Too cracked, the clinic doctor said. She'll heal, but it'll hurt for weeks. Grace's voice crackles through the speaker, urgent and excited. Ava, I cracked the old Bloodline cargo archives, the encrypted ones. You need to see this. Send it. The screen fills with documents, shipping logs dating back 2 decades, bank transfers moving through shell companies. A manifest dated 17 years ago, stamped with codes Ava doesn't recognize, and a photograph. Ava's breath stops. The photo shows her parents' car, the blue sedan from the accident. But it's not on a highway. It's in a warehouse, concrete floor and metal walls. Victor Hale stands beside it, speaking to 2 men in suits. His face is younger, but unmistakable. Her mother and father are visible through the car window, alive, terrified. They were there, Ava whispers. The mug trembles in her hands. They saw him, they were there. Grace's voice is gentle, pained. Ava, it wasn't an accident. Victor orchestrated it. He was covering up a money laundering scheme through Bloodline Cargo, and your parents, they were accountants subcontracted for an independent audit. They discovered the irregularities in the books. The room spins. Ava grips the table edge, knuckles white. Ethan watches her, silent, waiting, giving her space to process. You knew, Ava finally says. Her voice is hollow, scraped raw. You knew what he did. I suspected. Ethan's honesty cuts deeper than a lie would. When Victor betrayed me 5 years later, I started digging into his past, looking for leverage, for evidence. I found records of the accident, witnesses who disappeared, police reports that didn't add up. I didn't know the victims were connected to you until I saw your full background file yesterday. Why didn't you stop him? The question comes out sharp, accusatory. I tried. His voice cracks, just barely, just enough to show the weight he's carried. I confronted him, told him I'd go to the authorities, turn over everything I knew. He laughed, said if I made one move, he'd destroy everything I'd built and eliminate everyone I cared about, including my father, who was still alive then, still working the docks. Ava's chest tightens. So you let him go? I went underground to contain him. Ethan's jaw is tight, muscle jumping. Built Bloodline Cargo to control the routes so Victor couldn't use them for worse. Kept him from expanding. Every decision I've made for the last 12 years has been about limiting the damage he caused. The silence stretches. Outside, a siren wails past. Ava stands, turns away. Her hands shake with rage and grief and something else she can't name. I spent my whole life believing it was random, she says softly, that my parents were just unlucky. Wrong place, wrong time. Bad breaks and a rainy road. They weren't unlucky, Ethan says. They were good people who saw something they shouldn't have, and Victor made them pay for it. She looks back at him. And you? What are you? I'm someone who's been trying to make up for not stopping him sooner. Ethan meets her eyes. If I had known who you were, I would have come to apologize years ago for not doing more, for not being brave enough to expose him when it mattered. Ava sees the truth there. The weight of guilt he's carried like stones in his pockets. Then let's make sure he's the one who pays, she says quietly. This is the transformation from antagonist to ally, From enemy to partner, from suspicion to understanding. Grace's voice interrupts. Ava, there's more. Victor's current operations. He's been active, very active. Show me. The screen shifts. More documents. Recent shipping manifests. Weapons. Military-grade technology. Routes through Bloodline cargo. He's using your network, Ava says to Ethan, right now. Ethan's expression darkens to something dangerous. That's impossible. I monitor every shipment personally. Not anymore. Grace pulls up authorization codes. He's been forging your digital signature for months. Creating phantom routes you don't see. As far as the feds are concerned, you're running an international weapons operation. Understanding crashes over both of them. He's framing me, Ethan says slowly, setting me up to take the fall. And when you're arrested or eliminated, Ava continues, he takes over everything, full control of Bloodline cargo, full control of the East Coast shipping lanes. And you? Ethan looks at her. Where do you fit in his plan? Ava's voice is steady. I'm the witness he should have eliminated 17 years ago. The loose end. As long as I'm alive and digging into his past, I'm a threat. They look at each other across the table, two people who started as enemies, now bound together by a common threat. So what do we do? Ava asks. Ethan's smile is cold and determined. We do what he doesn't expect. We work together. Jersey Ferry Terminal, late afternoon. The terminal is old-world American. Red brick warehouses weathered by decades of salt air, rusted machinery that still works, the smell of diesel and brine. Ava and Ethan walk side by side, Lucas trailing 10 feet behind like a shadow. The sun is setting, painting everything in shades of gold and amber. This is where it started, Ethan says. My father worked these docks for 30 years, unloading containers, operating forklifts, double shifts when money was tight. Heart attack during one of those shifts, 52 years old. Ava glances at him. I'm sorry. Don't be. Ethan's voice is measured. He wouldn't want pity. He taught me something important before he died. The system doesn't protect people like us, the workers, the ones who actually move the cargo, who make the money flow. So if you want to survive, you build your own system. They stop at a loading bay. Workers shout instructions to each other, practiced and efficient. Forklifts beep as they reverse. Containers clang into place with metallic precision. The rhythm is mechanical but human, people earning honest wages in a world that rarely offers them. Bloodline cargo wasn't supposed to be criminal, Ethan continues. It was supposed to keep these workers safe, fair wages, decent hours, no exploitation by the big shipping corporations that see them as numbers on a spreadsheet. And then Victor saw an opportunity, Ava says. He saw weakness. Ethan's voice hardens. He thought my attachment to these people, to my father's legacy, made me soft. He started using our routes to move contraband, weapons, drugs, things I'd sworn we'd never touch. Why didn't you expose him immediately? I didn't know until it was too late. Ethan stops walking, turns to face her. By the time I figured it out, he'd embedded himself in half the East Coast operations. He had leverage on me, fabricated evidence of crimes I never committed, connections to people I cared about. If I exposed him, innocent people would die. My father, my workers, people who depended on Bloodline cargo for their livelihoods. Ava watches him. There's no pride in his voice, no justification, only the weariness of someone who's been fighting an invisible war for years, making impossible choices in the dark. You're not a monster, she says quietly. I'm not a hero either. No. She steps closer. But you're not him. You're not Victor. Their eyes meet. Something shifts, the first crack in both their armor. This is respect. This is the beginning of something neither expected. Understanding, maybe even trust. Ethan clears his throat, looking away. Come on, there's something I want to show you. Inside the warehouse. The warehouse is massive, cavernous, containers stacked 3 high. The smell of old wood and machine oil. Ethan leads her to a small office in the back, little more than a closet with a desk. He opens a drawer and pulls out a ledger, handwritten, decades old. The leather cover is worn smooth. The pages are yellowed, ink faded but legible. This was my father's, Ethan says, handling it with reverence. He recorded every shipment, every name, every deal. He believed that if you're going to control something, you have to understand it completely. Every detail matters. Ava traces the entries with her finger. Neat handwriting, careful and precise. Dates going back to the 1980s, names of workers, cargo descriptions, hours worked. You kept it, she says softly. It reminds me why I started. Ethan's voice softens in a way she hasn't heard before. Every name in here represents a family, people who depended on this work to survive, to feed their kids, to pay rent. My father believed work had dignity, that everyone deserved fair treatment. She looks up at him. What about now? Do you want out of this world? Ethan hesitates. The question cuts deeper than she knows. Every single day. Then let's find a way. The words hang between them. A promise. An alliance that feels like something more. This moment is motivational in a way Ava didn't expect. A man driven not by greed, but by responsibility, by the memory of his father's calloused hands and honest work, by the belief that even in a corrupt world, some things are worth protecting. Why are you helping me? Ava asks. Really? Ethan meets her eyes. Because you're the first person in 12 years who's looked at me and seen something other than a criminal, and because, he pauses, because you deserve justice, your parents deserve justice, and maybe helping you get it is the first truly good thing I've done in a very long time. Ava feels something shift in her chest, something warm and unexpected. Thank you, she says simply. Outside, Lucas approaches, phone in hand. Boss, we've got movement. Victor's people are tracking us. They know you're here. Ethan's expression hardens instantly, the vulnerability disappearing behind the mask. How close? Too close. 5 minutes, maybe less. Ava's pulse spikes. What do we do? Ethan's hand brushes hers. Brief, grounding, surprisingly warm. We move. Now. They run. Manhattan Bridge. 9:23 p.m. Rain lashes the windshield like bullets. Ethan drives, knuckles white on the wheel, jaw set with concentration. Ava rides shotgun, phone pressed to her ear, water from her hair dripping onto her jeans. Grace, I need a route out, Ava says urgently. Fastest way to lose a tail. Working on it. Wait. Grace's voice sharpens with alarm. Ava, there's a van behind you, 2 SUVs closing from the front. They're coordinating, professional. They're boxing us in, Lucas says from the back seat, weapon ready, eyes scanning. Ethan accelerates. The bridge ahead is a tunnel of lights and rain, cables arcing overhead like ribs. Then the first shot rings out. The rear window explodes. Glass shards spray the interior. Ava ducks, covering her head. Ethan swerves hard, tires screaming against wet asphalt. Hold on! Another shot. This one grazes Ethan's shoulder, tearing through fabric and skin. Blood blooms across his white shirt, spreading like spilled wine. "Ethan," Ava's voice cracks with fear. "Stay down." His face is pale, jaw locked against pain. "I'm fine." But he's not fine. His grip on the wheel weakens. The car swerves. Ava doesn't think. She just acts. She grabs the wheel, steadying it as Ethan's strength fails. Lucas fires back through the broken window, buying them precious seconds. Spent casings clatter on the floor. "Exit's coming up," Ava says, her voice steady despite the terror clawing at her chest. "I can get us off." Ethan nods, breathing hard, face gray. "Do it." Ava takes control. She yanks the wheel right, sending them careening down the exit ramp at 60 miles an hour. The pursuing vehicles overshoot the exit, brakes screeching, too committed to the chase to stop in time. They disappear into the Brooklyn side streets, a maze of narrow roads and dead ends. 3 turns, 5, 7. Finally, silence except for the rain. Abandoned garage, Dumbo. 10:05 p.m. Ava cuts the engine. Silence crashes in, overwhelming after the chaos. Ethan slumps against the seat, breathing shallow and rapid. Blood soaks his entire left side. His face is chalk white. "Let me see," Ava says, already reaching for him, hands shaking. He tries to wave her off. "Just a graze." "Be quiet and let me help." Her hands are gentle but firm as she peels back his jacket, his shirt. The wound is raw but clean. The bullet skimmed his shoulder without lodging. But he's lost blood. Too much blood. Ava pulls a first aid kit from the glove box. Her training kicks in, tech CEO by day, but she grew up learning to patch wounds in neighborhoods where hospitals asked too many questions and called too many cops. "You're lucky," she murmurs, cleaning the wound with steady hands. An inch to the left, and it would have hit the artery. "I know." His voice is weak but aware. Their faces are close now. Ava can feel his breath, warm against her cheek despite the cold settling into the car. Can smell his cologne mixed with blood and rain. "Why did you do that?" Ethan asks quietly. "Pull me out of the line of fire? You could have let them take me. Gone back to Sarah, walked away from all of this." Ava pauses, antiseptic-soaked gauze in her hand. The question hangs between them like smoke. The answer rises from somewhere deep, instinctive, true. "I'm not letting you die. Not today." The words hang between them, heavier than any confession. This is vulnerability. This is choice. This is the moment everything changes. Ethan's hand covers hers, warm despite everything. "Ava." She doesn't pull away. For the first time, neither of them is running. Neither is hiding behind walls of suspicion and defense. Lucas clears his throat from the back. "We should move. They'll sweep this area." But neither Ava nor Ethan moves immediately. The moment stretches, fragile and real and impossibly important. Finally, Ethan nods. "Safe house, Red Hook." Ava helps him sit up straighter. "Can you make it?" "With you? Yeah." His smile is faint but real. "I can make it." As they drive through the rain, something unspoken settles between them. Trust, the rarest currency in their world, and maybe, just maybe, the beginning of something neither expected. Love, Safe House, Red Hook. Next morning. Ethan sits on the couch, shoulder bandaged, color returning to his face. Ava sits beside him, closer than necessary, she realizes, close enough that their knees touch. Grace's face fills the laptop screen, exhausted but triumphant. "I found it, the smoking gun." Ava and Ethan lean in, shoulder to shoulder now, the distance between them erased completely. Victor didn't just betray you, Grace says, pulling up documents. He's been using Bloodline cargo as a front for weapons trafficking, small arms, military-grade tech, explosives, all routed through your network without your authorization. Ethan's expression darkens to something dangerous. That's impossible. I have safeguards, checks, and balances. Not anymore. Grace pulls up manifests, authorization codes, shipping routes. He's been forging your digital signature for months, creating phantom routes hidden in the normal traffic. The feds think you're the mastermind behind an entire mafia-level weapons operation spanning 6 states. Every piece of evidence they have points to you. Ava's stomach drops. He's framing you. Not just me. Ethan looks at her, understanding dawning cold and clear. He wants me eliminated so he can take over the entire cargo line. Full control of the East Coast, unrestricted access to every port from Maine to Florida. And me? Ava asks, though she already knows. You're the witness he should have eliminated 17 years ago. The loose end. Ethan's voice is grim. As long as you're alive and digging into his past, you're a direct threat to everything he's built. The pieces click together like a lock turning. Victor's endgame is total power. Eliminate his former partner, silence the witness, and inherit an empire. Then we need to bring him down, Ava says firmly. Now, before he moves on either of us. How? Ethan's voice is sharp with frustration. He's got federal agents on his payroll, private security, and half the underground network in his pocket. He's untouchable. No one's untouchable, Ava says, her mind already racing through possibilities. We use what he wants most, the cargo line. We lure him out. Lucas steps forward from where he's been standing guard by the window. It's a trap. You both know that. I know. Ava's voice is steady. But it's the only way to end this. Ethan studies her, concern etched in every line of his face. You don't have to do this. I can disappear, leave the country. Victor will lose interest eventually. You can go back to your life. My life? Ava's laugh is bitter but determined. My life was stolen 17 years ago when Victor killed my parents. Every day I've lived since has been borrowed time. I'm not running anymore. I'm not hiding. I'm ending this. Ethan's expression shifts, from protector to partner, from someone trying to save her to someone willing to fight beside her. Then we do this together, he says. Together, Ava echoes. The word feels like a vow, like something bigger than tactics and survival. Sarah Monroe's voice comes through Ava's phone. I've been listening. Count me in. Ava blinks. Sarah? Grace patched me into this call 5 minutes ago. Sarah's voice is professional but warm. I've been tracking Victor Hale for 2 years. Never had enough evidence to move. But if you can get him on tape, confessing to weapons trafficking and murder, I'll have 50 agents ready to move. It's dangerous, Ethan warns. Everything worth doing is, Sarah replies. Ava, I recruited you because you're the best, and because I knew your history. I knew what drove you. If Victor Hale is finally making mistakes, we take him down. All of us. They'll set up a meeting at the Long Beach warehouse, the original Bloodline cargo hub, the place where Victor first partnered with Ethan. Ethan will offer Victor full control in exchange for immunity and safe passage out of the country. Ava will be wired, recording everything. Sarah Monroe and Homeland Security will be on standby. ready to move the moment they have Victor on tape. It's risky, desperate, their only shot. Victor's smart, Lucas warns. He'll expect a wire, expect backup. He didn't survive this long by being careless. Then we give him what he expects, Ava says, and we plan for what he doesn't. Grace chimes in remotely. I can create a secondary transmitter completely undetectable by standard sweeps, planted in the warehouse structure itself, hidden in the electrical system. Even if he finds Ava's wire, we'll still have audio. Ethan nods slowly. And if it doesn't work, if he doesn't fall for it? Ava meets his eyes, reaches for his hand. Then we improvise, together. His fingers close around hers, warm, solid, real. Together, he agrees. Long Beach Warehouse, New York Harbor. 11:47 p.m. The warehouse is vast, steel beams arching overhead like the ribs of some great beast, shipping containers stacked like dominoes waiting to fall. The Bloodline cargo logo looms on the far wall, 20 feet high, weathered by salt air and time. Ethan stands in the center of the empty floor, hands visible, no weapons. Lucas is hidden in the catwalks above, rifle ready. Ava waits in a side office, watching through the glass, her heart hammering so hard, she's sure Victor will hear it when he arrives. The wire feels heavy against her skin. The backup transmitter Grace installed hums silently in the walls. Victor Hale emerges from the shadows like something out of a nightmare. He's older now, silver-haired, impeccably dressed in a suit that probably costs more than most people's cars. His smile is cold, victorious, the smile of someone who's already won. Ethan, it's been too long. Not long enough. Victor chuckles, the sound echoing in the cavernous space. Still bitter? After all these years, you should thank me. I taught you everything you know about survival, about power. You taught me who not to become. Victor's smile fades. His eyes, cold as winter, scan the warehouse. Where's the girl, the tech CEO playing detective? I know she's here. She's not part of this, Ethan says carefully. Oh, but she is. Victor snaps his fingers. 2 men burst from the side office. Ava fights, lands one solid punch, drives her elbow into a throat. But they overpower her. Professional muscle. They rip the wire from her vest, crush it under their boots. They drag her out onto the warehouse floor, hands bound with zip ties. Ava, Ethan moves forward, but Victor raises a hand. Stay where you are. Victor's voice is ice. Or she doesn't make it out of here, your choice. The men shove Ava into a glass-walled office overlooking the floor, a transparent cage. She slams against the desk, pain shooting through her still healing ribs. Victor turns back to Ethan. Now, let's talk about the future of Bloodline cargo. There is no future, Ethan says flatly. Not for you. Really? Victor laughs, genuine amusement lighting his cold eyes. You think you can stop me? I own this city's underground. I have federal agents who report directly to me, judges, police commissioners, and I have enough evidence against you to put you away for 3 consecutive life sentences. Evidence you fabricated. Does it matter? Victor's eyes gleam with malice. The feds will believe what I tell them. The jury will convict. And when you're rotting in a supermax prison, I'll take everything you built. Every route, every contact, every dollar. Bloodline cargo will become what it should have been from the beginning, mine. Ethan's expression hardens. This isn't about money for you. It never was. You're right. Victor's mask slips, revealing something ugly underneath. It's about power, control. You were always too weak to understand that, too busy protecting your precious workers, playing the anti-hero with a conscience. He spits the words like poison. There's no such thing as morality in our world, Ethan. There's only who's willing to take what they want, and who's too soft to hold on to it. And that's why you'll lose, Ethan says quietly. Lose, Victor laughs. To who? You came here ready to surrender everything, begging for scraps. Ethan's voice drops, steady and certain. I came here ready to lose everything, but today I will not lose her. Inside the glass office, Ava's mind races. The wire is gone. Her phone is gone. Grace's secondary transmitter is their only hope. She slides her foot against the desk leg, feels the small bump Grace installed during yesterday's reconnaissance. A backup activation switch magnetically attached to the metal frame. One hard kick, and it activates with a silent pulse. Somewhere in a van 3 blocks away, Sarah Monroe's team receives the signal. Warehouse floor. Victor pulls a gun from inside his jacket, aims it at Ethan's chest. You know what I've always despised about you? Your stupid, stubborn loyalty. Even now, even at the end, you're trying to protect her. She's not part of your war with me. She became part of it the day she started investigating. Victor's finger moves toward the trigger. She's the loose end I should have tied up 17 years ago, just like her parents. Ethan's face goes cold. You killed them yourself. Of course I did. Victor smiles, proud. They were accountants, smart, too smart. They found the money I'd been siphoning through Bloodline cargo, threatened to go to the authorities, so I arranged a little accident, made it look like bad breaks on a rainy night. He laughs. The girl was supposed to be in the car too, but she was at a sleepover. Lucky for her, until now. The confession hangs in the air, recorded by Grace's hidden transmitter. Then the doors explode inward. Federal agents! Drop your weapon! Victor spins, firing wildly. His men scatter like roaches in light. The warehouse erupts, shouts, the sharp crack of gunfire, the metallic clang of boots on steel, smoke and chaos, and the sound of justice finally arriving. Glass office. Ava works her wrists against the desk edge, the zip ties cutting deep, drawing blood. She grabs the jamming device Grace gave her, disguised as a USB drive in her jacket lining, and plugs it into the office terminal with shaking hands. The building's security system crashes. Locks disengage with audible clicks. Emergency lights flicker. She breaks free and runs, blood dripping from her wrists, leaving a trail behind her. Warehouse floor. Ava sprints toward Ethan through smoke and chaos. Victor sees her, swings his gun toward her, murder in his eyes. Time slows, but this time Ava is faster. She tackles Victor from the side, using every ounce of momentum she has. They crash into a shipping container together. The impact drives the air from her lungs. The gun skitters across the concrete floor. Ethan is there in seconds, restraining Victor, pinning his arms behind him with brutal efficiency. Victor struggles, snarling like a trapped animal. You think this is over? Victor hisses, spittle flying. I'll be out in 6 months. I have lawyers, connections. I'll find you both. I'll finish what I started with her parents. No, you won't. Sarah Monroe appears through the smoke, weapon trained on Victor, a team of agents surrounding them like an iron wall. Victor Hale, you're under arrest for murder, conspiracy to commit murder, weapons trafficking, money laundering, and about 15 other federal charges. You have the right to remain silent. Victor's face twists with rage as agents cuff him, read him his rights, drag him toward the doors. Sarah looks at Ava, then Ethan, concern and respect in her eyes. We got everything on tape. Grace's backup transmitter recorded the confession, every word, including the admission about Ava's parents. Victor is dragged away, still screaming threats into the night. But his voice grows distant, powerless. Finally, it's over. The warehouse falls silent except for agents cataloging evidence, photographing the scene, securing the area. Ethan turns to Ava. Blood from her wrists stains her sleeves. Her hair is wild, face smudged with dirt and sweat. She's never looked more alive, more real. "Are you hurt?" he asks softly. "I'm okay." Her voice shakes, not from fear but from adrenaline crash, from the weight of 17 years of grief finally having an answer. "Are you?" He nods, touching his bandaged shoulder. "Thanks to you." They stand there in the aftermath, surrounded by the wreckage of their past, breathing hard. "If you want to walk away from this," Ethan says carefully. "From me, I understand. You have your justice now, your answers. You don't need me anymore." Ava steps closer, looks up at him. Her hand finds his, blood and all. "I don't want to run anymore," she says simply. Ethan exhales, relief, hope, something deeper and more profound. "Neither do I." They stand there, hands clasped, while agents move around them like water around stones. This is commitment, the final love check. This is choosing each other despite everything, because of everything. Sarah approaches, gentle. "We'll need statements, both of you, but that can wait until tomorrow." "Thank you," Ava says. "Oh, for believing me, for being here." Sarah nods. "Go home, rest. We'll handle Victor Hale. He's not walking out of custody, not this time." Lake House, Maine. 6 months later. Morning. Sunlight filters through sheer curtains, painting the room in soft gold. The lake beyond sparkles like scattered diamonds, peaceful and endless. Morning birds sing in the trees outside. Ava stands on the porch, steaming coffee in hand, watching the water. She's wearing one of Ethan's old sweaters, sleeves rolled up to reveal the thin scars on her wrists, badges of survival, not shame. Inside, Ethan moves through the kitchen with practiced ease. His shoulder has healed, though he still favors it on cold mornings. He's making breakfast, pancakes the way Ava likes them, with fresh blueberries. He's learned her rhythms, her preferences, the way she takes her coffee, the way she hums when she's happy. Bloodline cargo is gone, dismantled piece by piece. In its place, Cole Logistics, a fully legitimate shipping company focused on fair labor practices, transparent operations, and employee ownership. The workers who depended on Bloodline cargo still have jobs, better jobs with benefits and dignity. Ava consults on tech security and data protection. Ethan runs operations with Lucas as head of security. Grace still sends sarcastic texts about going legit, but secretly approves, even visited last month. Victor Hale is serving life without parole in a federal supermax facility. The evidence Ava and Grace compiled, combined with his recorded confession, was airtight. Dozens of related arrests followed. The mafia-level weapons network he controlled collapsed like a house of cards. Justice, finally, after 17 years. Ethan steps onto the porch with a fresh mug, steam curling between them. He hands it to Ava, their fingers brushing, familiar and warm. "What are you thinking about?" he asks. She smiles, leaning into him. "The first day I met you, I was on a mission to destroy you. And I knew." Ethan's voice is soft, warm, full of quiet joy. "I was in trouble the moment I saw you." They stand side by side, shoulders touching, watching sunlight dance on water. The morning is quiet, except for birdsong and gentle waves lapping at the shore. "Do you miss it?" Ava asks. "The old life? The power?" "No." Ethan's answer is immediate, certain. "That world took everything from me. You gave it back. Gave me back to myself." Ava turns to face him fully. "We gave it back. Together." He kisses her forehead, gentle, reverent, full of promises, kept and promises still to come. Inside, on the kitchen table, sits a blueprint. Plans for the Cole Grant Community Center in Brooklyn, near the old ferry terminal where Ethan's father once worked. A place for dock workers' families, educational programs for kids, childcare for working parents, job training, medical services, a library built on the foundation of what was lost, dedicated to what can still be saved, named after both their fathers, legacy reimagined. "Ready to go over the final plans?" Ethan asks, gesturing to the blueprints inside. Ava nods, squeezing his hand. "Ready. Let's build something good." They walk back inside together, hands intertwined, carrying their coffee into the future they fought so hard to claim. Outside, the lake shimmers with morning light, reflecting not what was, but what will be. This is the inspirational truth at the heart of every romance. Love doesn't erase the past, it transforms it, gives it meaning, turns survival into something worth celebrating. And sometimes, just sometimes, it gives you a reason to build something beautiful from the ashes, something that honors what was lost while creating what can be. A legacy of care, of justice, of love earned and deserved. This is their ending. This is their beginning. This is home. Love isn't about finding someone perfect. It's about finding someone worth fighting for. This story reminds us that redemption is always possible when we choose each other despite the darkness. That justice, though delayed, can still arrive. That healing is real when we're brave enough to trust. If this moved you, if it inspired you to believe in second chances and earned love, hit that subscribe button. Join us for more romance stories that prove healing, justice, and happiness are worth every battle. Thank you for spending this time with us. See you next time.